Hey there, it is Joe Pardavila, and welcome back to Forbes Books Radio. It's silly to say that retail is dead. We've all seen the hot takes and the think pieces, but you know what? People still buy crap. And not only from Amazon. Joining me today is the founder and CEO of Ojai, an e-commerce solution that offers Amazon-level delivery speed to smaller brands. Hey there, Ben Jones.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, Ben. So let's get into Ojai, because this is sort of, for lack of a better word, you are a Amazon competitor, which is very hard to believe that there are any, but you are one, right?
Yeah, I would have said that we are enabling direct-to-consumer brands to offer the same quality of service and speed of service that Amazon does. And so I don't necessarily see us directly competing against them. We don't have our own portal that people can buy products through. People still interact with the brand's website, but we are providing the back-end infrastructure that enables brands to do same-day and 2-hour delivery.
Okay, so let's get into that back end. So Ojai partners with landlords to turn what would normally be leased commercial retail property or office spaces into these micro warehouses, is the phrase, right?
Correct. So our core thesis behind our business is that in the future, in the next 18 months, 2 years, commerce will be instant. All e-commerce will be instant. You'll be able to buy anything you like from any direct-to-consumer brand and get it within a matter of hours. And what's missing to enable that world to happen is the ability for brands to get inventory very close to their customers. The way that the traditional warehousing networks are set up is that they're large warehouses outside of cities, a long way out of cities, and that was originally created to store product very cheaply. But as consumers are increasingly demanding faster and faster delivery, inventory has to be closer to the city. And so what Ojai is building is a micro warehousing platform, taking unused spaces within cities, so non-traditional warehousing space. These are unused retail spaces, unused office spaces, just unused commercial space, and repurposing them as fulfillment centers to allow brands to get inventory very, very close to the end customer.
I mean, we'll say, as much as Amazon gets a lot of flack for the fact that they basically own e-commerce, it's amazing the structure they built with these warehouses that they're literally everywhere. And hence, that's why they're able to turn around these deliveries. I mean, there's an Amazon warehouse probably on the moon, and we don't know about it because they're so far ahead of everybody else. So you've talked about these warehouses that you've set up, but then who handles the deliveries from these micro warehouses? So I get that you lease out these properties, maybe they're unused warehouses or office spaces. So you've got the product there. So how does the product then go from the warehouse to the consumer?
Yeah, and the timing of why we're doing this right now is in my mind kind of perfect, because you've had these emerging new delivery carriers emerge within cities over the last 5 years that have traditionally been focused on food. So your Postmates, your DoorDashes, that traditionally have delivered food for customers. But now as they've grown, they're expanding into delivering everything. And so we partner with them to have Postmates and DoorDash people come and pick up orders and deliver them to the end customers.
So how does that work, though? So do they have like an Ojai-based app that they sign up for, like they're an Uber driver? How does a Postmate delivery person know to go to the Ojai micro warehouse and then deliver that package?
It's all API based. So Postmates and DoorDash and all these delivery companies have APIs that you can connect into to request drivers to come and pick up orders and then for them to deliver it. The cool thing that we do with our system, though, is the end consumer doesn't really know that it's Postmates or DoorDash that's delivering that order. We create this branded tracking page that's in the e-commerce brand's colors with their logo. It feels like you're still interacting with their website with all the tracking information so that the customer can follow cyclists as they cycle across the city in real time.
Wow.
In the same way that you would do with your food order if you were ordering through Postmates. But we've taken that out and created this really cool branded experience, and really a fundamental basis of Ojai and why we believe that one of our real competitive advantages is that we put the e-commerce brand front and center the whole time. The e-commerce brand is there engaging and interacting with the customer throughout the whole delivery process. We're not pushing them to an Ojai branded tracking page. We're not pushing them to an Ojai app. We're not pushing them to anything else. It's all interacting with the brand throughout the whole process.
Oh, you said, what type of brands have signed up for Ojai so far?
So we've got dozens and dozens of brands. I think we're now, probably approaching 50 different brands that are on the platform across a number of different categories. So Beverage has been an area that we've really focused on. So direct consumer beverage brands. So there we're working with great companies like House, which is a low alcohol aperitif, June Shine, which is a hard kombucha, a ton of direct
Wow,
consumer
okay.
beverage brands that work on the platform. The reason that they've been so successful is that's the sort of product that customers want very quickly.
Hmm.
You're not ordering a kombucha or a canned coffee or a protein drink and expecting it to turn up in 5 days. You want it right then and there. And so for these brands to compete against wholesale, so the consumer alternative is to go into a physical retail store to buy it then and there. And if you want to be selling that direct to consumer online, you need to be able to offer very fast delivery.
Wow.
So that's been the product category we've really focused on. But then we also work with brands from a broad range of beauty companies, shoe companies, consumer packaged goods brands. So we have a diaper company, fem health, sexual health companies, a whole broad range of products that are on the platform.
Wow. All right, so let's talk about the model itself. How much do you charge brands to access these platforms?
Yeah, so we just charge the brands a per delivery fee. And so we keep our pricing very simple. It is just a flat per delivery fee. There are certain order minimums that they have to hit, but the fee just varies per city, but they just pay a flat fee per city and that's it. So we keep it very, very simple.
But you run the warehouses though, right?
Correct. And so within that flat fee, it covers everything. That covers
Got it.
the delivery, it covers the pick and pack, it covers the warehousing cost. Everything is just in that one fee.
And delivery is actually a higher cost for brands than storage, right? Because that's sort of the big thing, because you're dealing with humans and having to pay humans to move around town and deliver, right?
Correct. And part of the beauty of micro warehousing as a model is when you look at the stack of what it takes to get a good to a customer, even from a normal warehouse, you look at the stack of the costs involved, whether it's storage, picking and packing, delivery. Delivery is by far the biggest cost there. And as consumers expect faster and faster and faster deliveries, that cost goes higher and higher and higher. And so the old school warehousing model of prioritizing low cost is just not fit for purpose. Low cost storage is just not fit for purpose in that world. The beauty of a micro warehousing platform is you maybe pay more for the storage because you're using more expensive space in cities, but by getting the inventory very close to the customer, you drastically reduce the delivery cost. And so for many of our brands, we can do 2-hour and same day delivery
Wow.
for cheaper than they can do 3 to 5 day delivery from a traditional warehouse.
That's crazy. Now, is the goal for Ojai to bring down the price of same day and next day delivery? Is that sort of the goal? Be like, hey, listen, we're going to be able to get these costs so low that you'll be able to make a big profit on that?
Yeah, I think. Well, our objective really, we believe what we're building is the replacement for the existing warehousing and fulfillment network. What we're doing is very similar to what Airbnb did to the hotel industry.
Mm.
In the hotel industry, back in the day, you had your physical infrastructure of your existing hotels. You then saw emerging tech companies trying to fill excess capacity within those hotels. So your Hotel Tonights, your Travagos. Then Airbnb came along and said, actually, there's a way better way of doing hotel stays, which is taking unused bedrooms and people's spare bedrooms and turning those effectively into hotel rooms, and created this parallel network that created this much better consumer experience. We're doing a very similar thing to warehousing in that you have that old school warehousing infrastructure. There are a bunch of tech companies that have emerged in recent years that are optimizing to fill unused space within those warehouses. And what we're saying is actually there's a much better way of doing warehousing using unused space within cities and turning those into forward fulfillment centers to enable this whole new consumer experience of 2-hour and same day delivery that's infinitely better. And so our intention is similar to Airbnb is to build this parallel network that is going to be bigger really than the traditional warehousing network is today.
So you don't see Ojai, especially in the near future, being a national company in terms of like you don't plan on putting a micro warehouse in the middle of Montana.
No,
Yeah.
I see us as owning all urban fulfillment, any urban area.
Okay.
Any urban area, Ojai will have a presence, and customers will be able to get product within 2 hours or same day.
So you're talking like major markets like Chicago, Houston, Miami. Those are the cities that Ojai would flourish in, right?
Yeah, as well as smaller cities, second cities. All that is really required is density of demand.
Okay.
So long as there's enough e-commerce demand from across all the, we aggregate effectively the demand across all the e-commerce companies we work with. And so long as there's enough aggregate demand within a city, then we can open a location. And so as we get bigger and as we add more companies to the platform, that aggregate demand opens up these new locations. We're able to say, oh, great, there's enough demand that we can open a location in
like St. Louis or something.
In St. Louis, exactly.
Yeah.
In some smaller cities, yeah.
That's fantastic. I was talking to another Ben. His name's Ben Crudo. He runs an e-commerce company in Montreal called Diff. And he talked about, and I mentioned at the top, how the fact that, there's this whole thing about retail being dead. And he just said, retail is just different now. There's no longer this giant monolith of a store in the middle off the highway where people go and do their shopping. Now, those monoliths that are there, those are going to be just basically warehouses for people for e-commerce, right? What do you see as the future? Obviously as a CEO of a company, you're forward thinking. Do you see that basically there will be more and more Ojai type companies that will service the demand of people who just don't want to go to the mall anymore or go to the supermarket anymore?
Yeah, I think retail is definitely changing. I agree that it's not dead. Like, people are always going to be buying products, but I think physical retail, especially since coronavirus, I think it's accelerated all these moves towards more e-commerce, towards more same day and on-demand delivery, and away from physical retail. That old, within cities, which is obviously where we're focused, that old model of having a 20,000 square foot store on Fifth Avenue that people walk around and they scroll the shelves and they flick through the hangers, that's dead. That is dead. People are not going to shop like that longer term. I think the way that physical retail is changing, and pre-COVID, we were doing this with a number of brands, is that physical retail is becoming much more experiential. And so it's an opportunity for brands, rather than just using Instagram and Facebook marketing, which you kind of get lost in the crowd. Having a physical retail presence is an opportunity for a brand to engage with their customers in real time and allow customers to come in, experience the brand, feel and try the product, but that all orders then actually happen online. And so, like I say, we were doing this pre-crisis, is customers would go into a store, choose what they liked, and order it via an iPad, and it would be delivered to their home, 2 hours later via Ojai. I think that's the way that physical retail is going. And increasingly, as companies like Ojai are successful, once you can order something online and get it within a matter of hours, you really don't need to go to a store anymore. People go to the store for convenience. But once you get that same convenience online, everyone, myself included, is lazy. Like, I'll sit on my sofa and order food via Seamless rather than go to the restaurant downstairs. Everyone would rather just have that convenience. And I think as we become more and more successful, it will accelerate that decline of physical retail and that move towards a much more experiential retail environment.
His name is Ben Jones. He's the founder and CEO of Ojai. Ben, it's a fantastic story, and I wish you the best of luck. I have a feeling one of these days we're going to see those Ojai vans driving around just like those Amazon vans, right?
Ojai bikes.
Ojai bikes. Sorry, I apologize. Yes. We got to be environmentally friendly. All right, Ben, have a great day.
Lovely. Thanks a lot.
This has been a production of Forbes Books Radio. Find out more at ForbesBooksRadio.com.